Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a different video. I have like vlog footage and room footage. You guys know I just moved in somewhere, but I just didn't feel like it was appropriate or what I wanted to do to just jump right into another vlog. I felt heavily like I needed to address everything that's going on and kind of share my experience before we, go back to normal. And I wish, I hope that it doesn't go back to normal, but you get what I'm saying. So, in light of everything that has been going on, social media has kind of changed throughout this past week, a little bit the week before, and I won't say it all started, but kind of the social media movement was sparked by the murder of George Floyd. Unless you are living under some kind of rock, then you already know what happened. And yeah, so just to like preface some things first, this didn't start with George Floyd. This was just kind of, I feel like, a tipping point for a lot of people and for a lot of groups. There's definitely outrage, and yeah. So also I want to just clarify, because some people need the clarification, saying that I support Black Lives Matter or the notion behind Black Lives Matter. Honestly, just the saying that Black Lives Matter does not mean that I don't think all lives matter or white lives matter, but I'm sure you've seen the analogy or the depiction of two houses and one is on fire, and saying that, what about my house when your house is in decent condition? So just yeah, wanted to throw that out there. There's a lot of misunderstanding in the world. That's just the world we live in, and I just wanted to make that blatantly clear, that just because you support one thing doesn't mean you don't care about the other thing. But at certain times, literally, some things need more of your attention. They need more of your support. And so I just want to, I prayed about this. I want to use all the right words and just share my experience, because I have been given a platform with YouTube, and even if you have one follower, that's still a platform and your voice can still be heard to that one person. So I definitely just wanted to take the time, make this video, and just kind of release my thoughts. And it's taken me honestly a while to process my thoughts and understand what I'm feeling inside. It definitely has hit me extremely hard. I have had really good friends call and check on me and see if I was okay, and that has meant the world to me. But it's just been another day, truly. I have been dealing with this kind of stuff for my entire life, and I'm sure I'll deal with it for the rest of my life, because we are a broken world. And yeah, some people say I don't see color, and unfortunately I have never had that luxury to not be able to see color, especially living my life the way it is. If you are a subscriber of mine, you know that I was adopted and my entire family is white. So I've never gotten the option to not see the difference between us. I've never gotten the option to see how we were treated and looked at. And I mean, there have been stares since I couldn't remember in public, because it's these white women or my dad or anybody with a little black baby. And especially I feel like living in the South, and if you knew the county that I grew up in and the small town I grew up in, I feel like was just it was a struggle. It was constantly a struggle, like as far as things like, you know, asking my family like, is she yours, and asking, like literally being in public or like in a restaurant or something or in a grocery store and asking if I was with my family. I've never gotten to not see color. I've never gotten to not see that I was different from my family. I was different from white people, especially growing up and getting into school, in middle school and in high school, where people are dating and where people start to like each other. I was always put in a different category. I cannot tell you how many times people said, you are the prettiest black girl, or you are so pretty for a black girl. For a black girl. Like, I was not just pretty. I couldn't just be pretty. I couldn't be as pretty as the white girl. I had to be pretty for a black girl, or the prettiest black girl. People would literally make exceptions for me. Like, I have literally heard people say to me, and growing up, that they were racist, but I was an exception. And this damaged my teenage self and my mindset more than I could ever imagine. I grew up hating the skin I was in. I grew up hating my hair. I grew up hating all of the differences that makes me me, because I didn't fit in, and I wasn't white, and I wasn't normal, which is white. You know, growing up when people would start dating and I would hear these stories. I remember specifically a couple in high school, so, you know, high school love, whatever. But the girl was white and the guy was black, and they basically had to hide their relationship because her family would not allow them to be together because he was black. And I remember people literally telling me, guys telling me like, my family would never let me date you, or my girlfriend saying my family would never let me date a black guy. Like, I would never date a black guy. And to me, like, that was so just like crushing to my soul, because it's not something you can change, and it's not something that I could go home and fix. Like, I was genuinely just me, and that wasn't enough, and it wasn't acceptable to some people. And I just remember growing up and just like thinking of all these things, and I look back and I'm so sad that I let white people talk to me the way that they did and say the things that they said to me, because now I would never let that fly. I just wouldn't. And it's just insane to me how, and I was talking to other black girls from, black women from the same, you know, we went to the same high school, and like literally there was a Facebook thread, and we were just going down and like all of the things that people at our high school had said to us, and just all the things, and we were like, what in the world? Like, it's almost like now as an adult looking back, we're like, why did we make that acceptable? Why was that okay? I remember in high school, white people would literally bully me so much and make fun of me for my lips that I literally looked up my senior year the cost and procedure and everything of a lip reduction, because for my senior graduation present to myself, I wanted to reduce the size of my bottom lip because white people made fun of me so much for it. So it's just crazy. Last year, literally last year, in 2019, I was called the N-word with the hard R. So if you say that racism does not exist, you're fooling yourself, and that is a privilege that you have to be able to say that racism doesn't exist, because it does. I've lived with it my entire life, like my entire life, and I just always thought if I was white, it would be easier. If I had white people hair, it'd be so easier. If I just could look like them, it would be so much easier. And I genuinely grew up hating myself and the skin I was in, because I didn't think that I was good enough or that I was like the other white people. And it sucked. It really sucked. And I would feel like honored when people would say that like I'm an exception, or you don't talk black, or you're not really black, or you're like the whitest black girl I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, if I had $1 for every time I had heard you're the whitest black girl I've ever met. And that doesn't, what they mean is that I'm not ghetto, and it means that, you know, they're noting that I don't talk black. And that, I mean, it literally drives me nuts now, because I just let people say these things to me, and I let people just come and just mess with my mind and mess with my self-worth and mess with, you know, everything that I believed about myself. And I genuinely felt that I was less than white people and wanted to be white. And now that I am 24 years old, I just want to go back to my younger self and just like hold her and genuinely just say, you are so enough, like you are. And so I encourage you, if you are one of the people who thinks that you know, you can't see color or that racism doesn't exist, I pray for you. I pray for your heart. And it has been very discouraging to be on social media right now, because especially Facebook, because like I said, living in the South, I feel like the South is its own little world, unfortunately. And not to say that racism isn't everywhere. Please don't think that I'm saying that. But I mean, I know someone who their grandfather is, you know, associated with the KKK. And that's just mind-blowing to me that, you know, it's 2020 and we're still dealing with this stuff. And it just makes you think, like of course black people are upset, of course they feel silenced. And it really just hurts my heart to see on Facebook that, you know, people, and I know people are just ignorant, and some people were genuinely, unfortunately, raised racist, and some people don't even know that they're racist. And I've actually had some people from my high school that have apologized to me and said, you know, I've said some stuff to you in the past that was really messed up and I'm sorry. And like, that just makes me so happy, because you're never too old to change your mind, and you're never too old to change your heart. And so you grow and you evolve. And, you know, I don't know, that just made my heart really happy. And I was super thankful for that. But, you know, people, I literally saw on Facebook someone, I kid you not, that literally was claiming to be verbatim, like did not care that people knew he was racist. Like, I am racist. I read those words. So it's a crazy world, and I just want to share my experience and share that white privilege is a thing. It just is. I've lived my entire life surrounded by it. I made a post on my Facebook the other day, and just kind of a depiction. You guys know I'm the oldest of 5. I have 2 white brothers, and then I have a brown brother. He is mixed with white and black, but he will always be identified as black, not white. And I have different worries about both of them, my 2 white brothers and my brown brother, because I know that my brown brother will be judged, and you know, the possibility of false accusation, ignorant words will be said, especially, you know, of his interracial family, that my white brothers will never experience. So that's not saying that, you know, when I say that Black Lives Matter, I am voicing me standing with my brother, with myself, but that doesn't mean that my other brothers' lives don't matter. Like, truthfully, if you mess with any of my siblings, you're gonna get these hands. Like, that's just like, this is the world that we live in today. And I have just been like so appreciative of all of my white friends just sticking up or standing up, I guess, and just letting their voice be heard throughout this. It's incredibly crazy that this is what we're still dealing with. And let me go ahead and say right now that this is just because I'm anti-racism doesn't mean that I'm also anti-cops or anti-police. Let that be clear right now. I have friends who are police. I respect police. I support police. I do think that there are bad policemen. I do think the ones that abuse their power should be immediately dealt with, and there is absolutely no place for racism in the police force. There's just not. It's unacceptable, 100%, but at the same time, I don't not value cops' lives. And also as an educator who teaches Black children, yeah, each and every one of my kids' lives matter, and it just genuinely breaks my heart to think that any of the Black children that I have taught would ever have to hear or face any comments that I have heard in my life or anything like that. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video and show my support, and I'm not gonna claim to have all the right words. I probably have said something that was wrong in this, but this is a broken world, and it is a sinful world. We are apart from Jesus. I just pray that God changes the lives and the hearts of some people, and I feel like as Christians it is our time to show love, but also not stand for the mistreatment of any of God's children. Doesn't matter, you know, I don't know. I'm going to leave resources in the description box down below. I have a list of children's books that I will, as soon as they are in stock, I will hopefully be collecting for my classroom. There are several books that I want to read that deal with racism, and I am just going to leave some resources down below. There's some different petitions and just kind of where do I start, where do I begin. So I'm just going to leave some stuff down below. And I know for white people, I have had a lot of conversations. This has opened up the door for a lot of conversations in my life. My friends are predominantly white, and I do appreciate the ones who have come to me and asked, like, you know, where do I start? What do? I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to do the wrong thing, but genuinely doing something is better than silence. So yeah, I am just completely heartbroken by all of this. And yeah, I just pray that we are radically changed as a people, as God's people, because I mean, this is so much bigger than any of us that it's literally going to take a God-sized miracle. And you know, I believe in God-sized miracles. I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. I believe in his love. And you know, soon another vlog will be up, and yeah, I'm just gonna go. I love you guys so much. I love each and every one of you. I'm thankful that I can have conversations and start conversations, and yeah, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.